Wilma says whoever murdered her brother shot the gun through this window, that the bullets shattered the glass before they struck and killed her brother. Investigators are now searching for leads about what happened here early Thursday morning. The family just wants justice. They came in breaking up, digging up the concrete here because that's where they thought Dina's body could be found. Texas Forest Service continually used their dozers to reinforce and build up the fire lines. They want to make it easy for the other firefighters to check for hot spots.
As it is, we have no closure with it whatsoever. Walking around wondering who would be so cruel to take his life.
It's been 3 years since Wilma McMillan's younger brother, John Hanks, was killed. He was 63.
We were best friends and brothers and sisters.
Investigators say they know who did it. It was a Sunday evening in early September 2008. A call to 911 sent San Augustine County Sheriff's deputies to Hanks' home in the Grapevine community.
Did find the victim, John Clifton Hanks.
A friend of Hanks called his sister, telling her to go check on him immediately.
When I topped the hill, I saw all the lights from the officers, the sheriff's departments. It was flashing everywhere. My heart just stopped.
It wasn't good news.
Somebody met me at the gate. I don't know who it was, and says John is dead.
Wilma says whoever murdered her brother shot the gun through this window, that the bullets shattered the glass before they struck and killed her brother. A murder investigation was born. First, they learned Patricia Bryan had called 911.
She was the last person to see John Hanks alive that we know of.
They learned Bryan was sitting on this front porch, drinking coffee with her friend John Hanks. During questioning, Bryan says a few minutes after going home, she got a call.
She received a phone call from another person who asked her to inquire about the victim because this person had also been unable to contact him by phone.
Then she headed back to Hanks, finding him dead.
It's just an unbelievable set of circumstances.
Investigators soon had a suspect, Marvin Lowe, Patricia Bryan's common-law husband. Reports surfaced Lowe had fled the area right after the shooting. A lot of members of the Hanks family are buried in this old St. Augustine cemetery. This is John's grave. His 98-year-old mother plans to be buried very nearby.
And I pray before she closes her eyes in death that we will know who taken his life. And sometimes I want to wring his neck, but he still was my brother.
One key lead could help close this case. In St. Augustine County, Morgan Thomas, KTRE, East Texas News 9. A family matriarch trying to stay strong for the rest of the family. Bobby Segrist is struggling.
I just pray that this will never, ever happen to anybody, ever, because it is just so heartbreaking, just unreal. It's just like something out of a nightmare.
The nightmare began for this grandmother with an early morning visit.
Policeman from the sheriff's department and an investigator came. She asked me to sit down.
The news was bad.
There were some gentlemen that were on their way to work around 6:45 that morning who came up on a car, and then as they got closer could see that there was an individual lying in the middle of the road.
The body was that of her granddaughter, 25-year-old Heather Doris Ramsey, found next to her own car. Only hours before, Heather and her kids were visiting Segrist, a 7-month-old boy and 4-year-old girl, now without a mom.
They've lost their mother. I'm just very concerned and worried, and we've got to work something out to raise them and care for them.
Investigators are now searching for leads about what happened here early Thursday morning. The family just wants justice. Chief Deputy Byron Lyon says he wants answers for the kids.
We're taking our time, being meticulous on with our evidence and our interviews because we want to make for sure that we cover everything.
Now a call for witnesses to move this investigation forward. No detail is too small.
Any type of information, no matter how little you think it is, give us a call, let us know. Any noises, any vehicles, doors slamming, lights.
Right now, they're tight-lipped on how Heather was killed.
That's the type of information that we're wanting to receive from any witnesses or any persons of interest that may have that information.
For Segrist, life after Heather is unimaginable.
Everything is wonderful about her. She's beautiful, precious mother and granddaughter.
In Livingston, Morgan Thomas, KTRE, East Texas News 9. A collection millions of years in the making. Dr. Neil Naranjo has spent vacations digging up fossils, building a collection including 6 dinosaur eggs.
A study done in Florida by a physician at a hospital looking at a velociraptor egg.
Enough to spark interest in what was inside his eggs.
Just tried an x-ray and the material is just too dense for a normal x-ray. Tried an MRI and because they don't have water in them, you can't do an MRI.
This is a very unusual request for us, so it's our first time to scan a non-human subject.
Radiology Director Rebecca Petty was on board, confident in her CAT scan equipment.
I knew if there was anything to be seen, we could see it with the CT scanner.
These prehistoric eggs were scanned one by one.
We're seeing an image after an image after an image after an image, and then this one shows up. I go, we got a baby! We're jumping up and down.
These dinosaur eggs hold fetuses that are at least 70 million years old. But what shocked Dr. Naranjo and his team the most was the detail of the images that the CAT scan revealed.
We thought we could see some bone structure, but to see the whole outline of the baby in the egg was amazing.
Vertebra. I mean, even the layman can tell there's a vertebra. There's a vertebra. We got people contacting me from Europe and from here in the States wanting to know how we did it, what was our protocols, how can they do it, can they send stuff for us to do. This guy born and raised in Lufkin, Texas, he's doing this. You know, he's not somebody on TV, he's a local guy.
Called the bank this morning and talked to one of the ladies and told her I'm sorry it happened.
Furloughed Alto Police Chief Charles Barron can't help getting emotional. He's remorseful for the alleged attempted bank robbery Wednesday afternoon.
Sorry it happened, but you know, I mean, I didn't have any control over our departure there. Just blessed, glad nobody got hurt.
The would-be bank robbers were so brazen that even folks dining at Dairy Queen could watch everything unfold across the street. It was less than an hour after closing time, but Bangor South employees were still inside.
Apparently a black male with a bandana cap, dressed in black, with a gun, and it looked like a paper sack on the video. He had in his hand, tried to get in, the door was locked.
A witness at the Dairy Queen told police the group wearing bandanas over their faces got in a blue Dodge pickup and headed north toward Rusk.
Chased it to 84 and then it turned toward Palestine. They started throwing stuff out of the truck.
After stopping the truck near the Rusk Railroad Park, officers recovered pistols, bullets, and clothing from the side of the road. All from Anderson County, the suspects face some serious charges.
Charged with aggravated robbery. There is no attempted aggravated robbery. Tampering with evidence by throwing the evidence out of the truck. They're charged with felony evading arrest and are also charged with organized crime.
Had the department not shut its doors 2 weeks ago, some say this would never have happened.
These kind of people, when they get ready to do something, they're going to do it. It could very well be because Alto did not have a police department.
Sheriff James Campbell wants Alto to reinstate police ASAP. The city's furlough is costing his office overtime for deputies and gas for patrol cars. Those who live in Alto are afraid it's becoming open season for crime.
I had said before our departure, you know, that I felt like all the citizens of Alto would suffer. I felt that the business would suffer the most, and that's exactly what is happening.
Barron is just grateful no one was hurt this time. In Alto, Morgan Thomas, KTRE East Texas News 9.
They did. When he was running inside, they shot him.
Neighbor Jason Turner recalls watching the dramatic scene from his front yard.
I heard him and his wife fighting, Josh and his old lady fighting, and I come outside and the law was here. 3 Trinity County Sheriff's deputies and a Groveton police officer responded to a domestic violence call at this home.
I received a 911 call from a lady that was in distress. She was afraid for herself and her 3 children. Her husband was on a rampage, and she was asking for some help, that he was brandishing a gun.
It's quiet here now, but in the thick of it, law enforcement was swarming the scene and neighbors looked on. Turner says it all happened so fast.
He was standing at the front step of his house.
So and he was out on the step?
Yeah, and it was 3 of them standing outside on the front porch or on the grass out there.
And did they have their weapons drawn?
Hell, yeah.
What happens next, he says, was a complete shock.
He was standing at the front door saying, "Come on, if you want to shoot me, shoot me." And he turned and running back inside, and that's when one of them shot him right in the back, or I guess hit him right here and come out the front.
The sheriff confirms Deputy Kim Bruner shot the suspect Joshua Roberts in the pelvis. Dwight Wolf heard the shots from down the block.
First of all, they should have never shot in the house. They should have never pulled their gun. They should have called him outside.
Turner agrees and says Roberts' wife confided in him.
Yeah, I talked to her, but I didn't really want to get into it. She said that she thought that they used excessive force.
Wolf hopes this serves as a wake-up call to the community.
These laws will do whatever you let them do. If they think you're not going to talk, then you don't have a voice.
Sheriff Montmayor is confident his deputies followed procedure. In Groveton, Morgan Thomas, KTRE East Texas News 9.
From Abilene's First, this is KRBC News Weekend.
Good Saturday evening, and thank you for choosing KRBC, Abilene's First News, as your choice for news this weekend. I'm Morgan Nash, topping our news tonight at 10. A bizarre emergency call left local police officers and firefighters puzzled this morning after a woman set herself on fire. Police were told that a woman in her early 50s went to a local Shell store located on the 2900 block of Treadaway. Almost 200 families are being united tonight as the men and women from the 317th Airlift Group return to Dyess after a 4-month stint in Southwest Asia. The group of Air Force men and women flew C-130 cargo planes to transport troops and supplies to forces fighting the war on terror. Dyess officials say their deployment was a successful one, but that doesn't mean these airmen weren't ready to come home. Many of these families have been waiting for months for their dad, mom, sister, or brother to return to the United States safe and sound. Roping, steering, and dancing. That's what makes a rodeo a celebrity rodeo. Rodeo celebrities performed cowboy stunts that delighted the hundreds of fans out for the good time and great cause. Tonight's event raised money for the John Wayne Cancer Organization. The Hardin Simmons Six White Horses also made a grand appearance. The temperatures dropped and it's getting pretty chilly out there. It will be colder for the rest of the weekend. Let's check in now meteorologist Kristen Connolly for a look at the weather. Hi, Kristen.
Thanks, Morgan. Good evening, everyone. The temperatures really have